today? Friends and family, welcome back to another video. As always, I hope everybody's having a blessed day. If not, I will be praying that it gets better. Now, in today's video, we're going to be looking at the question, will all people be saved? So sit back, relax, listen, comprehend, and learn to view the world with the love of God. Alright guys, so like I've told y'all before, I believe in universal salvation. Why? Because your Bible clearly teaches that. And if you don't see it, it's because you probably are reading a mistranslated Bible. And that's not your fault. I used to believe in only a few people will be saved. But the more I looked into it, I started to see nowhere does it ever mention hell. That's first and foremost. The word hell as we use it today and what we think of when we think of the word hell. Nowhere is it mentioned in the Bible. Now secondly, nowhere does it say eternal punishment or eternal torment. The Bibles that we read, the Bibles that we have our hands on, they do say stuff like that because they're mistranslated. And you know why it says that? Because when their translators were translating it, they were already taught these concepts by the people or by the ones who came up with this concept. And that's when it started to come about. And then when they started translating it, instead of translating it into the correct words, they translated it to what would match their belief. And that's the way things are. We even do it now. Even with the material that we have, we clearly find places where it conflicts or contradicts what we believe. But you know what we do? We read over it like it's not there, and we ignore it like it's not there. And that's what we're going to be looking at today. Now that being said, I want to go ahead and let y'all know that this idea I didn't think of on my own. This video, this concept, I actually saw it and it inspired me to reach a different audience. Maybe some people haven't seen his videos, and with that being said, they might stumble upon mine. So right now, I want to give credit to Tent Maker Ministries. The link will be in the description below. His name is Gary Amaralt. Now the truth of the matter is, this guy has been studying this topic his entire life. He has read different translations. He has seen the original translations of these concepts, the word hell, the concept of eternal torment and eternal punishment. And he's come to the conclusion that nowhere is it ever mentioned and nowhere is it ever taught. But what is really taught is salvation for all of humankind. For every single person, everybody will be saved. Now, like I said, I give credit to him. This video is almost in the exact same form, only he goes into a little bit more detail than I will be doing, and he goes into a little bit more background of the history knowledge of it. I'm just here to provide you a little bit of proof and for you to see and be the judge yourself and what you believe with this type of stuff. Alright guys, so I looked them up basically after I finished this video. I already blew out my candles and stuff. I'm just going to insert this before all of the teachings because I mentioned him, I mentioned who he is. Now I didn't know this before, but he had ended up passing away last year, November 3rd, 2018. And so thank you, Gary, because you have shown me a lot. I actually just really started watching his videos and he shows a lot. And so this video is in memory of him. This is only one video that I'll be making within this topic. I will be making some videos about this topic because this is very important. If you understand this, then you realize even that person down the road, even Adolf Hitler, they're all going to be saved at some point. The video where I got the idea from will be down in the description, and let's just talk about this. We're going to be talking about the word especially. Why? Because this is where this video is going. This is almost the exact same video that he made. And the truth is, it's very eye-opening. He gives you two or three verses probably that use the same word in the original text in these verses, you know? The word is especially. So, what I will be doing, I will be giving you an example of these types of situations, and you tell me what you believe. So before I get into the one verse that I'll be sharing, before leading up to the verse that is important, I will be making my own especially example. So let's say that you have 3 kids. Now, I use 3 kids because I grew up with 2 other brothers. Well, let's say dad is at work all day. And all day these kids are misbehaving and they're acting crazy, not listening. And mom has tried so hard to get them to listen, to behave. Well, when dad's coming home, she tells him, your dad's coming home. And I'm gonna tell him how y'all been acting, right? And all of a sudden, the 3 children are scared. They want to start cleaning up, they want to start acting like they were behaving and doing this and doing that, right? Well, when dad gets here, mom tells him, right? And let's say that these kids' names are Bob, Mike, and Dexter. That's all I can think of. But Bob, Mike, and Dexter have been acting bad, she says. Especially Dexter. Well, in this scenario, tell me what you think. Were all the children acting bad? Or was only Dexter acting bad? Or is it implying that they were all acting bad, especially Dexter, he was acting the worst? Because it's clear to me that she is telling dad, all of them are acting bad. And one was acting way worse. One was going overboard. Right? Now that we have that example, I'm not going to be making another example. I'm going to be reading you an example from the Bible. Like I said, that Gary guy from Tipmaker Ministries, he reads like maybe 2 or 3 different verses that use this word. Well, I'm just going to read one, and I think he says that there's even more than that. And he just chose those few to read. But that being said, let's take a look at this verse. It's going to be 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 17. The elders who direct the affairs of the church well are worthy of double honor, especially those whose work is preaching and teaching. So is he saying that those who direct the affairs of the church well are worthy of double honor? Or is he saying that only those whose work involves preaching and teaching are worthy of double honor? To me, he is saying that they are all worthy of double honor. And with that being said, the ones who are teaching and preaching are even more worthy, is what that actually means, right? Wouldn't you agree? Or are you going to believe and say that he means only the ones teaching and preaching are worth the double honor? I'll read it for you one more time, and you tell me what you think, because I honestly see that they are all worthy, and the ones who are even more worthy are the ones who are teaching and preaching. The elders who direct the affairs of the church well are worthy of double honor, especially those whose work is preaching and teaching. So it's clear to me that they are all worthy of it, and the ones who are teaching and preaching benefit just a little bit more from it. So that being said, in both of these scenarios, the entire group is what is being meant. And that being said, if you agree with me, do not change your mind, because this next verse is the verse that is important. So this verse comes out of 1 Timothy chapter 4, and it goes from verse 9 through 11, I believe. And let's take a look at it. It is a trustworthy statement deserving full acceptance. For it is for this we labor and strive, because we have fixed our hope in the living God, who is the Savior of all men, especially of believers. Prescribe and teach these things. Prescribe and teach these things. So, are we supposed to teach that God is the Savior of all men, like the verse clearly says? Or are we to teach that God is only the Savior of those who believe? Because clearly it says He is the Savior of all men, especially those who believe. Which, just like in our last scenario, the word especially is just a way of being beneficial, right? It's the way of being outstanding or more deserving. Am I right or am I right? Because if you say only believers are going to be saved, then this verse right here will contradict that statement. Because this verse clearly says that God is the Savior of all men. Of all men. And of course, this is how they spoke back then. He's not saying that only men will be saved. Like this is just how he spoke. When he says men, he's actually talking about the human race. Men, flesh, that's what they mean. And they're not saying women will not be saved. So, just to let y'all know that. But, it clearly says that all men will be saved. All flesh will be saved. Especially the believers, which that whole scenario implies we are all going to be saved. Especially you and I. Why? Because we believe. But the one down the street who does not believe will eventually believe. And don't even get me started, because there are other verses that say every eye will see, every tongue will confess, every knee shall bow. Everybody will believe. Everybody will confess. Everybody will bow down. Because God is the Savior of all men. And I'll leave it at that. But that's going to be it for today's video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to smash that like button. Be sure to subscribe. And also hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. I love you guys. I pray that you prosper. I pray that you grow. And I pray that you receive all that you desire. Now go and use what you've learned and apply it with the love of God.